What is perfectly legal, but creepy as hell? Using the urinal next to me when there were plenty of other choices. Hanging out in a public bathroom timing how long people pee. A national newspaper having a countdown for when a child actress becomes legal for sex. Answers to questions that will surely come. Yes. The Sun, UK. Emma Watson. Technically, you can stand on the sidewalk and stare into someone's house through a window. It's not illegal, as long as you stay off of their property, but it's really freaking creepy. When I was a child, we had a creepy horrible neighbor that would harass my family constantly. One of the things he did was stand at the corner of his yard and videotape me playing in a pool with my friends. We were around 8. My parents called the police, but were told that it's legal if he's on his property. Edit. This was in the US and 20 plus years ago, so laws might be different by now. Parents using their kids for money. Example, YouTube Kids channels. My dad is currently in an injury case against his old job. There's been a car outside his house filming him for the last couple months trying to catch him doing compromising things to disprove his injuries. That's very creepy. Saying, think of yourselves as sisters when introducing a much younger new wife to one's adult daughter. My father-in-law did this. Edit. Wow, this really blew up. Holy cow. Thanks for the awards, kind people. Some context, my FL was in his late 50s, his new bride in her early 20s, which was indeed younger than his daughter, my wife. As creepy as his comment was, made on first introduction as we all stood there in my doorway, after they showed up unannounced, I don't think he consciously meant to imply the incestuous subtext. It was more like he was crowing about how he had attracted such a young wife. But his emotional intelligence and self-awareness were exactly that low that he could say such a thing. He was a really difficult person in general. In the end, the marriage was short and tumultuous, with him eventually accusing her of physical abuse and theft. I think they were both using each other, and they both got more than they bargained for. Using a laser rangefinder to ensure you stay outside the effective radius of a restraining order. In some states, it's actually legal to take upskirt pictures with your smartphone, as long as they are wearing panties. Super creepy as hell. I only know this because a judge ruled a guy innocent for doing just that, because of a law that was worded a certain way. No clue if the law has changed to include upskirt pics. Nobody is saying you can't eat a banana, Terry, but you can't just stand on a street corner for 30 minutes and suck on it. You have to actually take a bite. Parking across the street from an elementary school with binoculars. Technically not illegal, but you definitely get the cops called on you and make the news. I believe the act of cannibalism itself is legal, so long as you didn't murder anyone to do it. If your homie gives you his arm to gnaw on, it's fair game. Hanging your doll collection from the trees in your yard using string made from human hair. Sitting next to someone at a public transport even when there are other seats available. Paparazzi. Dating a girl you adopted once she turns legal age and not in your care. Trying to make your kid's social media famous. Following someone. It's alright guys, you can stop following me now. Facing the wrong way in an elevator. Sitting on a lake bed at night with a breather and no flashlight. Media outlets, typically disguising it with comedy, putting up, turns 18 on, countdowns for child actresses. Natalie Portman was 13 when she got a countdown on her local radio station. Fuck's sake, Mary-Kate and Ashley were like 4 on Full House when they got their countdown. It's technically legal to check if a door is locked, as long as you don't enter without permission. Edit. Depending on where you live, this could apply to both houses and cars. Edit. You won't find any laws permitting this activity, but laws associated with it are generally based on circumstantial evidence or rely on proving the suspect's intent. An arrest may be likely, but proving intent is difficult, and charges might not stick. Results may vary in your precinct. Child beauty pageants. Going on a vacation with your fiancé, only to return home alone and immediately lawyer up and not answer questions about their whereabouts. Sniffing the hair of the lady who fell asleep on the train. This one hits close to home. A good friend of mine lives in a major East Coast city. As a single woman, she is extra cautious. She was the victim of an unknown local Instagram celebrity this weekend. Basically, this guy follows people, guys and girls, around and records them. When they get annoyed and tell him to stop, he gets more and more obnoxious, trying to get a reaction. He is careful not to cross the legal line for stalking, etc., and does it in public, so be expectation of privacy. He then posts the inevitable freakout online. I'm not going to share the page. My friend made the cut because I don't want to grace this troll with the page views. Those little kid beauty pageants. Awful. Payday loan companies. MLMs, though I think they'll be illegal soon enough. Edit. MLM as in multi-level marketing. I can go put up a camera with a giant lens and set it up to take pictures every 30 seconds while pointed at a popular playground full of children, while I also fly a drone taking pictures of the same playground. The act of taking pictures in public is not illegal, even if the subject doesn't want their picture taken. It's how the photos are used that determines if permission is needed. And as long as I'm using it for my own weird, creepy personal reasons, rather than trying to publish a book of them, or put them in a movie, then it's not illegal. Of course, this only applies in Canada and the US. Other countries may have different privacy laws, and you do need the appropriate drone license. But I could still do it all day every day. Memorizing the age of consent in every state or country. Child brides in some parts of the world. WTF is wrong with people? Sifting through someone else's garbage bins. Cops and collection agencies do it all the time to gather evidence. It's perfectly legal, as the bins are on the street, which is public. You can even turn it around and do it to the cops. They'll still try and throw the book at you, of course, but it's legal and the courts have ruled as such. Update. This got popular, so it's sire time. Please check your state's laws on this beforehand. They're all different, and some might supersede the Scottish ruling mentioned by /u/adamp_the_gorilla. Purity balls/dances. That shit where girls pledge their virginity to their fathers until they are married. EWWWW. Tracking. Whether it's Google, Facebook, the government, or whoever. Fuck right off with that. Owning a collection of children's teeth. Stalking someone doesn't have enough legal repercussions. Calling your child sexy. Right up there with moms who don't seem to understand that their son is not their boyfriend. What kind of weirdo threatens their son's spouse/girlfriend with the line, "the first tits he loved were mine"? In some states in the US, a rapist can sue for visitation of the child born from their crime.